Hello and welcome to Video Revealed. I'm Colin Smith. We're going to have a look at the Hollyland Mars 400S multiple platform wireless monitoring system. So the folks at Hollyland sent me the 400S system and I'm trying it out and I am blown away. Now I'm going to show you what this is. Then I'm going to show you some practical examples that I shot on location. And then we're going to actually plug things in and look at it live. So what is a wireless monitoring system? Well, if you are used to connecting some type of monitor to your camera, then you will have a cable going from your camera to your monitor. In fact, right now I've got two monitors set up because I've got this camera over here and I've got that camera here, and I need to be able to see what I'm doing if I'm holding things up. So it's in a small location like this, having wires is not a problem. But if you're moving or things are too high, then how do you see it? How do you monitor what's going on in the camera? For instance, if you're using a crane, how do you see the view? Well, let me show you two examples. One where I'm using a handheld camera and another where I'm using my crane. So you can see in this crane shot, the Mars 400 is connected to the Canon C100 at the end of the crane. And I'm able to see this shot perfectly, and I'm viewing it on the Ninja V monitor, and it's wireless. And because it's wireless, I don't have any worry with cables. I don't have worry of the cables making noise, and it just allows me to get this great shot. Now, the other one was using a handheld camera, which could be Steadicam or could be some kind of gimbal like a Ronin S. And it's impossible to view this with a cable. So you need a wireless system. So I've got something on top of my rig, and then I've got a full screen monitor looking at this system. So very, very useful, very practical. And the thing that I love about the 400S, the amount of times that I've turned things on, it's worked flawlessly. I am blown away. You just basically turn it on, set it and forget it. Turn it on and it works. So let's break this down of what exactly these two pieces are. One is a transmitter and one is a receiver, and they look very much the same. And you'll see they've listed this one here. So that's the transmitter and that's the receiver. And on the side, you see RX and TX. So you can quickly distinguish which one you're setting up. Obviously, you set up the receiver at your monitor side and the transmitter you set up to the camera. It comes with a cold shoe, which a lot of DSLRs have a little hookup on the top for things like a flash. Well, a cold shoe can also hold the transmitter on top of it. So you screw that on. I'm actually using this cold shoe here because I've got this set up with my Ninja V, and I've just set up a little channel in here and a little cheese plate, and that allows me to stick it in here. But let's keep going on what these are. So they look very, very similar. They're almost identical, and we'll see the screens on in a second, but let's go through the ports. So on the side of the ports, they both have USB-C, and that's for updating the firmware. So you plug in a thumb drive, and they do give you an adapter if you don't have a USB thumb drive, USB-C thumb drive, and then you can update the firmware. Then we've got HDMI and SDI inputs, outputs. So obviously the in on the receiver, there's an HDMI in or an SDI in, and then on the transmitter, HDMI out, SDI out. So the cool thing, sorry, on the receiver is the out. The cool thing here is when I go into the next room and connect this to my Blackmagic camera, it doesn't use HDMI, it uses SDI, which has been a royal pain for me. And I've had to buy a converter to go from SDI to HDMI. So I don't even have to do this now. I'm going to be sending from SDI and picking up over here, which I could connect to SDI, but in our case, I'm going to be connecting it to HDMI. Okay, let's go on to the other side here. And there is the on-off switches and also the power. So it comes with a DC power connector. And then there's also a battery compartment at the back, and a really good, robust, this little button here will lock that right in. It really is very useful. So you do need an NP F970 compatible battery, basically a Sony battery, and that snaps right in, and you can see it gets right in there and it'll snap. There we go. This is a very large battery. You can obviously get different sizes. I've only charged these batteries once, and I've been running this for a lot of different tests, all the stuff outside. These batteries will last forever. They don't really take a lot of power, the 400S. So all day, no problem. When you connect the antennas are in the box, so you screw them on. And when you screw them on, after you screw it on, you can still rotate it around because there's a certain way that these are recommended to show up. So recommended. So this angle here that I'm flipping this on, it snaps to that angle. So you can see both of them are on this angle. So that's the recommendation, is that you keep them in that configuration. Now, when you are hooking this up, you can use the cold shoe to mount this sideways. And for that, you put it up like this. So if you are mounting it sideways, and the monitor goes over that. So, but for us, we're going to be mounting it that way. So let's get that back up. There we go. All right, so let me go and I'll plug in the transmitter into the next room, into my Blackmagic camera, and then we'll turn on the Ninja here. We'll connect the 400S and be watching that display right from the other room. Okay, so I've just got my Blackmagic pointing out the front window here, and I'll stick the 400S transmitter on here, taking an SDI feed out of the side. And I've just connected this on the top. That's why I don't need the cold shoe. I'm using it in the other room. So I've just got a simple connector on the top of this cage on my Blackmagic. And once I turn this on, the transmitter is going to find the it's going to start broadcasting on the channel, on channel 1, and the receiver is going to find that right away. And let's get back into the other room and see what the connection is doing. All right, the transmitter's on. I'm going to slip this into my little makeshift thing here. Come on. And connect an HDMI cable out of that receiver and into the Ninja. So let's turn on the 400S, turn on the You can see right now it's waiting. It says no video because I forgot to turn my Blackmagic camera on the other side. I connected the transmitter but didn't turn it on. Hold on, I'll be right back. So I missed the important part of everything being turned on. So I literally plugged in the output of the Blackmagic camera into the input of the transmitter, the output of the receiver into the input of the monitor. Done. There isn't anything else to do. So right now I am seeing that signal from the camera. And of course, I could call up any of the things that I have available in this monitor. And the Ninja V does have, some waveforms that I could see, peaking and zebras and lots of things like that. I could actually turn on record from here and start recording that signal from the transmitter. You can see right now that there is a channel number. So there are 8 channels, and you can sweep between all the channels if you're trying to get rid of some kind of interference. If you hold the center button down, it will bring up the system settings. So here you can do a complete channel scan. You can go to the system settings. So you can change the language. You can pair and reset the default settings. I did not have to pair anything. I literally plug everything in each time. They find each other, they connect, no problem. This will show you the Wi-Fi password. So the Wi-Fi is when we're connecting to a smartphone, which I'll show you in just a second. And that's the part that is crazy amazing. And then there's the version info that you would need. So let's exit out of there. So the system works with anything from 480 all the way up to 1080p. It does interlaced, does 720, and same with the SDI, the HDMI, the SDI. It does, everything you need from full HD all the way down. It uses 5G to communicate. So between the receiver and the transmitter, it's 5G technology, 400 feet on a clean line of sight. So as long as there's nothing blocking, you can get up to 400 feet and less than 0.1 second of latency. And in this case, we have one receiver and one transmitter. The 400S works with an additional receiver. So you could have an additional 400S receiver, or you can have the system that I have here, which is one transmitter, one receiver, and 4 smartphones. This is amazing. This is great for continuity, for the script supervisor, visual effects supervisor, because crowding around a monitor sometimes is not an option. Sometimes the monitor is like the hallowed place and you're not allowed to be there. You need to be over there. Well, how can I see what's going on? You pull out your phone and run the app. So let's do that right now. So this is the Hollyview app. And you find your device. So there's the 400S and connect. And when this is not filled in, you're not connected. But when you hit connect and you are connected, there's a barcode on the transmitter that you can scan. There's also a number in the transmitter that you can just punch in. That's what I've done here. And it's a horizontal view. So now I'm looking at the same view as the Ninja. Same view. And if you tap, you'll get a bunch of tools down here. For instance, we can see the waveform monitor. You can see the histogram. There's my peaking focus. There's a zebra pattern for what is possibly blowing out. There's a bunch of framing options in here too. A magnify setting so that if you wanted to, you could zoom in. False color, which shows you all the different exposure values going on, and then a monochrome. And then also, believe it or not, you can add LUTs to this. So I can view this, I can shoot in log, and I could be applying like a Rec 709 LUT and viewing this on my smartphone. And of course, I can do that on the Ninja too, but this is great. On any smartphone, you can do this. But there's more. if you go over to the right-hand side, you'll see that there's a camera, and there's a video camera and a still camera. So if I select the still camera, I can actually mark out areas. So if I wanted to tell about something that, you know, this is the mark that somebody hit, or that's in the view, or anything where you need to communicate the frame to the director, to visual effects, or to continuity. You could simply be watching this and marking things out. And this is saved in the album. And you could do the same with video. So you're not interrupting the flow, the broadcast flow at all. You're just sitting there watching your smartphone, making notes on it, which is hugely valuable. And you didn't require anything special. You just pull out your phone. This blew me away. 4 people can be doing this while this monitor is being viewed at the same time. So there's my smartphone. There's it on the Ninja. This is really a fantastic product for indie filmmakers, live broadcasting, for sports, education, weddings, corporate events. You could even, because you could take this HDMI out and stick it into a switcher, you could use this as a streaming solution too. Again, when you don't have the option to be close to that camera. Great for something like weddings. You could pop that camera right up where the bride and groom are saying their vows, and you're watching that. Did you get it? Yes, I got it. And hey, how about all the social distancing that we've got going on right now? I could set up my system completely. I go 400 feet away, sit there, and I could make sure everything is recording okay. So there you go. That's the Hollyland Mars 400S. I think this solution is really fantastic. The build quality is remarkable. I mean, this is made of industrial strength metal. It is really incredible, hard and robust. It feels good. There is a fan in there, so you'll hear the fan turn on, but I've had no issues with fan or fan noise being picked up at all. This is really a remarkable solution. This is the kind of thing that used to be in the hands of the professionals on a Hollywood shoot, and folks like us, we didn't have them. Well, Hollyland is bringing those kinds of solutions down to folks like us, prosumers, and I would even call this a professional solution for HD. And it's blown me away, like I said, especially the fact that you can do all of this with your smartphone. All right. Hey, if you're new to Video Revealed and you found this informative, take a moment and subscribe. You want to support us more? You can do that through PayPal. There's a link in the description of this video and the front of the channel. Till next time, I'm Colin Smith, and I'm the guy who keeps getting contacted by companies like Hollyland to show them technology that you and I can definitely benefit from.